JB.
And I'm CP. And welcome back to our E3 discussion 2017. So this time we're talking about Ubisoft's conference, and I gotta say, Miyamoto. I did not expect to see
Cool.
Yeah,
Miyamoto. That was cool.
I think it just kind of made me smile just by default. Like, Miyamoto showing
Kind of
up.
interesting, though, that he shows up, any Nintendo guy shows up
For-
physically for Ubisoft, and then
Not
we
for
get what
them.
we get from
Yeah.
Nintendo a little bit later.
Still, though, like, I can kind of get it because he seems to have, like, almost like a personal stake with the whole Mario
Yeah.
and Rabbids thing.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
pushing the Mario brand.
You know,
Yeah.
usually I would kind of sit and cringe, by the way, if, like, somebody came up on stage with, like, a little toy gun and they sat there.
Those
like,
were
like
so
that.
cool, though.
But yeah, I was like, I was sitting there, I'm
Yeah.
just, like, kind of laughing. I'm smiling, like, okay, I'm in. That kind of set the tone for
It's
the
like
whole
two
thing
old
with
men
Ubisoft.
two old men acting like kids.
That was a lot of fun. I think that, like I said, it just kind of set the tone for the whole thing.
And the
It
game
was-
itself.
Rabbids looks pretty.
It
You know,
probably has a lot in depth.
I'll just say this: it surprised me. Like, I looked when I first heard about it, I thought it was the stupidest thing. When I first heard about it, I thought, okay, they're taking the Rabbids and they're mixing with Mario. This is obviously just some kind of weird cash grab. I'm definitely not going to play it. And then they showed the gameplay, and I was like,
It looks nice.
It was like when it looks better than nice. It looks good. It looks genuinely good. I looked at it. I'm like, this actually looks really, really deep. You know, like with the whole like trying to like here's your space that you're allowed to jump to and chaining enemy ally attacks to try and take out enemies before before you even go into your attack phase. And then you look at what they're showing later on after the conference, and like the weapons have real classes and like real effects that you put on them, kind of like with South Park Stick of Truth and what they
Or
did with their
arms.
weapons or arms, or just it looked really, really deep and interesting. And I was like, and the humor was actually good too. They opened up with like that little Rabbids thing jumping and hitting the Mario block and then getting stuck and one of them getting all big. I thought it was funny.
That's cute.
Yeah, it made
yeah.
you know, and so that surprised me. I didn't think that this game would really make me laugh so much as cringe, and I didn't think that it would actually look deep and interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
But
what
it
to
does.
expect either.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. I've got some hopes for this one.
I'm personally not really interested in it, but maybe if I like really looked into it, maybe.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm hesitant still.
And you know, I kind of have to wonder. Like, it is Ubisoft. I wonder if that game's gonna be microtransactions. But anyway,
Hopefully not.
I don't know. Your thoughts, Rabbids?
Yeah, I mean, I literally knew pretty much nothing about Rabbids except that they existed. So,
They're from the Raymond games.
it looks, right, yeah, it looks fun for
Yeah.
what it is. I think if I was going to get a tactical, chess-style game
Mhm.
like that, where you move around and do the battles and stuff, I'd probably be playing Fire Emblem.
Yeah, true.
But
Still, though,
then you don't get that humor
like
and stuff like that.
the
So
cartoony
I get,
weirdness.
yeah, I get the
Like
the twist, and that could be fun.
I get the
I don't know
feeling.
if I'll try it.
I do get the feeling that it's almost like it feels like they have something like a personal interest in this one. You know, like Miyamoto and that other guy whose name escapes me. They're up there. They're talking about it, and it sounds like they started off with, "We've been working on this game for 3 years." I'm sure what he was thinking was, "We heard what you guys have been saying about it online before you've even seen the game," and like. I don't know. It felt like there was like this personal touch to it, which is really interesting to see from Ubisoft, because I don't expect that from Ubisoft. So what else happened after that? We had pretty decent amount
That
of
was
games.
a long segment, by the way.
It was
Yeah.
a long segment,
Yeah.
which is okay because, like I said, it looks interesting. And the stream I was watching, one of the guys who was kind of conducting it, he put it best. He said, "It scratched an itch I didn't know I had," and I thought that was like perfect. Ubisoft in general though was decent this time around.
Yeah, there was more stuff there than I.
And it
thought.
wasn't cringy. Ubisoft conferences are known for being like these over the top, ridiculous. Someone making a dumb joke and trying to seem cool and funny, and it just ended up
I
being.
feel
really
like they
cringy.
kind of just got to the point.
Yeah, there was a little bit of cringe. I'm not gonna say that there wasn't.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
were some. There were some moments. There was when
Just Dance game?
that Just Dance game when that came out, and
Oh, I
like,
just kind of.
the dabbing panda. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Left Shark, anyone?
No, they have nothing on Left Shark. But in general, it was a decent one. Everyone seems to think that they won it this year. I don't know if I agree. There were a lot of games, and there were a lot of interesting games. And I think that
Wide variety too.
They had this nice balance of the showmanship and the games that were being talked about. Ubisoft, you guys should know, I've been very critical of them in the past. They have not been my favorite developer, mainly because they've done a lot of things like milk the Assassin's Creed series, which by the way, what do you think of Origins?
I say that's getting back to the roots of of the original one.
Yeah.
Like going back to a setting pre guns and everything, which I'm happy about personally.
Yeah, it's not trying to be modern tech.
Yeah, England.
Gunpowder.
Yeah, gunpowder. I'm happy that that they're going back to that. It's the landscapes I think look awesome, and
it looks gorgeous.
And the combat looks pretty much the same still.
I don't know why they change it. Yeah, it seems.
Yeah, but.
Well, that's actually my biggest criticism. They kept on talking about how we're breathing new life into it, and then I'm looking at it and I'm
the action looks the same.
Exactly the same. The setting is interesting.
But the eagle thing, though.
Yeah.
Well,
that was from Far Cry, but I'm a little bit more skeptical when it comes to, this. I'm more skeptical when it comes to Assassin's Creed anyway.
Yeah, I fell out of it a while ago. That one does look nice though, and the thing that I just kept thinking of when I watched it is that the rugged white hood looked really cool.
That's something.
The costumes were cool, and I was like, oh, it makes it look like they're actually just beginning because they're still. They don't have that super fancy.
That and it actually looks.
Outfit.
It actually looks like something that would be, worn normally. It doesn't look like you're going out for a costume.
Cosplay.
Because a lot of them they have looked like that. A lot of them it's been he would not be wearing.
I wonder who the assassin is. I wonder.
This guy over here seems normal, and he's just standing there but that leads us kind of to Skull and Bones, actually, which looks like a cool IP. It's a new IP that is based entirely off.
Kind of a spin-off.
It's almost,
but not plot-wise.
It's based off of the boat segments from AC, and I have to give them props because not only does it actually look decent, but it's Skull and Bones, and it's not Assassin's Creed.
Skull and Bones.
They didn't try to brand
a lot of
these,
and they could have so easily. It's specifically based off of the gameplay. It's pretty much copy
World of Warships.
No.
That's what it looked like to me. I don't know if you guys played that, but it just looked like World of Warships, but with kind of pirate ships and a crew on the deck in front of you, animated crew.
But the gameplay.
I'm not saying it won't be fun, but that's just what it reminded me of.
I'm saying the gameplay itself though is just copy and paste from the Assassin's Creed boat segments.
Black Flag.
Yeah, Black Flag specifically. And one of the things I've always criticized the Assassin's Creed series for is they make a new game. They were making a new game annually at one point, and every game. It was trying to be and now they're in Victorian England.
Yeah,
and it's called Syndicate. Why? And I was just why is it Assassin's Creed Syndicate? Why can't it just be Syndicate? Why can't these just be new titles? So they did that, and for some people, I could see that actually being a bad thing, calling it just milking something without actually making something fully original.
But let it be what it is.
Yeah, and it looks decent. So I do give them a lot of points for that. Thank you for not just making that Assassin's Creed Skull and Bones, because you could have easily done that.
Another thing I was thinking of when I was watching the Skull and Bones segment is in Sea of Thieves.
Oh right, we forgot to talk about that during Microsoft.
You can actually leave your ship and dive in the water and get treasure. Obviously, different styles of games.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for a pirate game, I'm gonna be the one where I can be a pirate and drive the boat.
That's a good point. We forgot to talk about Sea of Thieves in the Microsoft video, and that game also it's out there. That game also looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
It looks enjoyable, and it's probably something I got my eye on. It is
I'll
Microsoft exclusive, but it's going to be on PC. So,
it's
but
got
that's
that kind of squishy feeling movement that seems like it could be slow. I don't mind the graphics, but I have a problem with those games where you move like kind of slow and it all looks really natural and it's for the experience, but that kind of turns me off. Yeah. So I'll watch that one, and I'll watch Skull and Bones too, and we'll see.
In the end, I think we're probably going to end up with one or the other of them because we probably want to stream it.
Or maybe both.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I think it was interesting that we're getting 2 pirate games in the same year.
Mm-hmm. And lots of card games.
Like we're getting a pirates game that's a lot more about like trying to be like serious pirates, and it's trying to be a little more gritty and action oriented. Another one that's like made by Rare, trying to be silly. Kind of reminded me of Monkey Island actually. Like in fact, for a little bit, I actually thought it was like a successor to Monkey Island, and then I realized who was making it, and I'm like, oh.
I'm still interested in it. I'm interested in both, in all honesty.
So, again, not a whole lot of cringe this time around, which was good. And there were some decent games. I hope that they actually live up, because now there's all this hype built around a lot of these games.
Right.
But they closed really, really strong with Beyond and Good Evil 2. I never played Beyond and Good Evil 1.
Neither.
But evidently it has this
I know it's got a
very dedicated dedicated like fan base that's been following them for years and years and years.
Wait, isn't that Sony?
No, this is Ubisoft.
No, okay.
No. That's been following them for years and years and years. And so I didn't realize until like they actually showed it on stage and like the developers came out and they're like crying and everything, and I almost thought that was cringy, but then I kind of backed off. I'm like, no, they actually care about what they're making here. Because it's been since, I think they said the original came out in like 2002. Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
15 years.
That's one of those, like, you go to GameStop or whatever and you just see it on the shelf. You're like, and then you move on. Or I don't know, that's for me at least. Yeah. Obviously, evidently people bought it. But
evidently, it was like ahead of its time. A lot of people like to say, but because it was like a champion for like diversity and that.
Yeah. So I was thinking I need to sit down and look at what the gameplay is actually like, because again, even there, it was just kind of cinematic trailer, and it looks really nice, and the models are cool and the animation's great, but I don't really know what you do.
It's actually going to look like it.
That's actually
well, obviously the gameplay won't look quite like it. It's better nowadays, but
that's one of the few.
What will the gameplay be like?
That's one of the few where it is sort of like I do kind of worry, because I would have liked to have gotten a release date. It's been delayed for so long, put off for so long. People didn't think it was going to happen. I would have liked to get a release date. I don't hold it against them though, but it did look really cool. If nothing else, I can get behind the concept. I think that, like you said, the animations on that game looked really, really good. Yeah, and nice. Hopefully the gameplay itself will look something like it. But I can get behind, like, we have this, like, British monkey who's, like, trying to trade treasure for space meth, and the treasure turns out just to be chocolate, so now the mobster pig is getting, like, it's a lot of insanity that actually works.
Yeah, and, I like the random stuff.
Kind of, but it went together. Like, it actually fit, and it wasn't just, we're gonna throw, like, a vampire in this now for something,
Not like Bleach.
Yeah, exactly. It actually worked. So, I'm actually excited for that one. I've got my eye out for a release date. So I think that was a good, strong way to end the conference, though, and to make it memorable. Let's give our ratings.
I will give it an 8. Mostly because the games I saw there actually caught my eye, unlike the EA conference, which didn't really have anything for me.
Or the Bethesda one.
Or especially the Bethesda one. That one, yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in this.
I'll go ahead and give mine next. I'm gonna give it a 7, I think, and that's a good score for me. I wouldn't have thought that I'd give Ubisoft a 7 just based off their track record, and here we are. But it was decent, and like I said, it was a nice, good mashup between games and showmanship. We had a little bit of cringe, like with that Dance Dance Revolution thing, but for the most part, it worked, and everything that they showed more or less has me some kind of interested. Maybe not necessarily going to go out and buy it, but I'm paying attention. So, points.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the 7 as well. More together, a little bit more to be interested in their presentation, and decent presentation. So that's more just because they did a decent job of showing what's there, what they've got this time, and not so much that I'm necessarily going to go out and get every single one of the things that they showed. Kind of reserving that for somebody else. But yeah, 7.
All right. So there you have it, guys. Those are our thoughts on the Ubisoft conference. We know that the general consensus out there is that Ubisoft won. So good, you know, it was definitely a good conference. So I definitely understand why people would think that. And there is a lot to look forward to. So next we're going to be talking about the Sony conference in the next video. So come on over, follow us over, and we'll see you there.
Until then, I'm TJ.
I'm JP.
And I'm CP. And we'll see you next time
on our realm.